What kind of maintenance does this take?
I usually work out here about maybe once or twice a year, and it takes a couple of days.
For today's farm feature, we are at Spiral Ridge Permaculture. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know or I don't know much about the place, but I've heard many good things. One thing I'm really excited about are the food forests here, because many of you, when we first featured food forests, it was down in Florida. So naturally, many people thought that was only possible in Florida, but it's not true. And he is in the same zone as I am in, 7B, so I'm personally really excited about this, because of course, we're gonna implement food forests when we get home. What are you guys doing?
Eating berries.
The whole idea behind the forest garden is that it's an experience. It's a quality of life. You know, the kids can come out here, people can come out here and just pick and eat at their heart's content. But most of the time, they don't even know actually what's growing. They don't know that this here sumac is edible.
What?
Yeah.
And that was naturally here, or did you plant that?
That's naturally here, so we left it. But
okay,
you can.
So how do you eat it then?
Well, what we like to do is just peel it, and then you can eat this little piece.
Look, guys, try it. Look at them grabbing blackberries.
What do you think?
Sumac.
Kind of like celery, a little bit, or
I'll eat it if I have to.
So would you use? Hey, they're honest, buddy.
that's right. That's why you gotta love kids.
You aren't gonna get any fluffiness.
That's
here,
right,
buddy. So you got blackberries growing on this?
We have blackberries. We have red osier dogwood here as a hedge that goes along here, along with several different types of willows. And those willows are used for fodder for the animals, but they're also used for basketry and also for bees. Our honeybees love willow.
Okay. Guys, I haven't introduced him yet, but this is Cliff Davis, Spiral Ridge Permaculture here in Tennessee. So tell us, as we walk, what these things are that are growing here.
Well, the kids have already found all the berries. We have goldenrod, we have yarrow, which is an umbel, which is really good for coagulating the blood. You can chew on it when you get cut in the garden, put it right on there, and it'll coagulate the blood. It's very good for medicines. Also, it's good for different types of insects and bugs and all kinds of things that come in here, and they help us out. There's an understory of clover. There's also a small pocket pond right here. That pocket pond filled up last night from the rains. It overflows into a small swell that way and then fills up another pocket pond. So we have a frog orchestra pretty much every night that puts us to sleep.
So why the ponds? What is the benefit of the ponds?
Well, open water that actually moves a little bit actually is perfect for amphibians, dragonflies, damselflies, all kinds of different things we're also gardening for those. Just not for ourselves.
They eat the insects that are harmful to the plants. Right.
Okay. So creating basically an ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of having open water in a small little garden like this, I mean, this is the size of someone's backyard.
Yeah.
For the most
This could totally be in anybody's backyard now. What kind of maintenance does this take?
I usually work out here about maybe once or twice a year, and it takes a couple of days just to make sure keep weeds down, things that are going to actually reseed and cause us problems. We have the forest garden, which is connected right to our agroforestry system, which is a forest-inspired agricultural ecosystem.
What's the difference between an agroforest garden and a, what do we call this? Forest garden.
They're actually very similar. They lie within the context of agroforestry. It's just that the way that they're applied is different. Over here, we have kind of somewhat straight rows on contour with crops in between, corn, beans, squash, and then more tree crops, then potatoes and different things. So it's a little bit more linear. Whereas this area over here is a forest garden, which mimics the function and the architecture and the community niches and all the different things that are involved in a forest, and we're just mimicking that in the forest garden.
And this, I would say, is more perennial. Is that right?
Yes, this is perennial with annual cropping systems, and this is all perennial for the most part.
For those that don't know, perennials come back. You don't have to replant them every year. Mostly perennial or all perennial.
Pretty much all
and the
perennial.
forest garden.
Yep.
Anybody can have this in their backyard. And then this is a mix. This has annual gardens, perennial gardens, all on contour, and then more annual gardens. Cliff's taking chickens to prepare this area. I'm assuming in a mobile system, electric poultry net,
That's
a
right.
mobile chicken coop.
That's right.
They've prepped this area. They've put down, I guess, is this straw or is this hay?
We did cover crops,
Okay.
and in the chicken coops, we actually did a deep litter mulch system.
Oh, cool.
Instead of moving them every day, we did
Ah.
a deep litter mulch system where they're building up and then moved them, and then building up and then moved them. So we can
Leaving the
create the
build-up?
biology, yes.
Okay, so.
And then cover cropping that.
Oh, cool. And then you just spread that out?
Yep.
Okay, so they build up this deep mulch with the chickens. So it's already gotten mixed with manure. So it's going to break down quickly.
That's right.
And then they've planted corn in here, or they're going to plant corn in here.
Yeah, we have some corn in here, but some of the corn didn't come up because it was old seed.
Yeah, so you can see some of the corn coming in, guys. And we got a gentleman down there weeding.
Yep. Got
Okay,
a weed.
the good old-fashioned way.
Unfortunately, yes. The good
He
old-fashioned
needs his
way.
exercise.
Yep.
We say that as you and I stand over here. He's over there weeding.
Yeah.
I don't think he
knows
hears
I'm
us.
going to join him soon.
Oh, he knows. Okay. Somebody's got to do it, right?
I got
Somebody's
Scooby
gotta
snacks
talk
for
to
him
the camera.
later.
Oh, okay, you got reward. We're just walking right here,
Yep.
next door. All kind of goodies growing in here. So
Yep.
right here, next door, more perennial stuff. Tell us
Yeah,
what you got going
this
in here.
whole alley right here, along with that alley, is a slightly off contour swale, which is, it's a dugout with a non-compacted berm on the backside.
Yeah.
It has apple trees that are planted very close together.
Yes.
Because we're a small scale system, we can't have your standard apples. So we're doing
Yes.
more of a French intensive method, kind of inspired by Stefan at the Permaculture Orchard.
Okay.
And what happens is the water cascades, fills up a pond, and then it overflows, fills up another one of the swale systems. It goes into another pocket pond, it overflows and cascades all the way down the system.
Okay.
That causes us less for less irrigation. We don't have to irrigate as much, if at all.
Yeah.
And it also makes it easier to grow certain crops that are lifted up off the ground, like the apples or the peaches, to lessen the fungus problems.
You're putting it slightly off contour. Is that because in this area, in this climate, we don't theoretically need swales because we have more precipitation than evaporation?
Well, that's one reason. I'm not really fond of the on-contour swales because if you can move water, it's much better than actually capturing it and holding it in the system. So we're creating basically a net system where they're coming back and forth and back and forth and back, like Plinko. Or a pinball machine.
Okay.
In here, along the top of the swale, we have Amorpha fruticosa and Aronia, which you can't really see because they're being overrun by goldenrod and other things, which we don't want to take down. Okay. The goldenrod is the last resort for the bees in the fall, so we leave those going. And then on the other side, we have elderberry, clover, comfrey, daylily, apples, all old-time apples. We're starting to collect all kinds of old-time southern apples. The next one down is the next opening or alley field is 3 different types of potatoes, sweet potatoes, and then tomatillos down at the end.
Oh my word, he's cherishing a thistle. Cliff, are you out of your mind?
I am.
Tell the folks, why in the world are you going to keep a thistle?
Well, thistles are great for insects and butterflies. They're great medicinal. They have a very large taproot that actually accumulates a whole lot of nutrients for the top of the microbiology in the soil. We do try to go back and try and clip them right at this time, actually.
Here it comes. Here comes
Before they go to seed.
Before they go to seed.
Okay.
But if they do go to seed, the other great thing is that this makes great fire tinder.
What's on that? What bug is that?
I don't know.
Cliff, is every single plant welcome here?
Oh, pretty much, yes.
He's a refuge. For all you plants listening, this is the refuge.
So wait
You're
a minute.
welcome
It's
here.
an edible sanctuary.
So you would
Yeah, you're a sanctuary.
you would use that to start a fire?
Yes, you can use this as fire tinder.
Jonah,
look, for your
I don't
flint.
have that. I
I
left
know
You don't have your
left
flint?
it, but he has a flint.
But you
And
could
that
use
would be
this as a
perfect.
fire
Can I take
starter.
Can I take
Can I take it, he says.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And Mom's like, not so sure.
Okay. Wait, don't do that. Where are you gonna put that to take
In my
it?
pocket.
Oh, she's checking it.
Just,
You know he's gonna
it's
forget
okay.
it.
Okay, it's okay, but can we try to remember
Well, you
to-
don't have to use that
before
particular
the
thing
laundry. Before the laundry, can we get it out?
There's all kinds of other great fire
Before the laundry.
Before I put that through the laundry, can you remember to get it out?
We're taking bets. Is he gonna remember to get it out?
Well, it's like the little tomato.
Remember?
Oh, I'm bad too.
No, it's like the little cucumber in Mr. Brown's jacket at
Oh,
JM. Do you want me to hold
Okay, you guys stocked up on cucumbers?
Get in. I can get him on a little.
They're coming out of every pocket. Little Mr. Brown's got a little cucumber. You need a little help? Okay, you got your little itty bitty cucumber. You
Yeah.
ready? Do not forget it's in there.
Please.
No, he's gonna forget that cucumber in
Tiny
there.
cucumber.
Forgot about that already.
No, we didn't. I
We got the
remembered.
cucumber out. Okay.
I couldn't find it. I looked.
Does this take any work?
We come in and chop and drop this.
Some of the grasses.
We chop and drop some of the grasses. We chop and drop these peas here. And we use those for feed for the rabbit.
What he means by chop and drop? What do you have? A rice knife?
Yep. I have
That's what
rice
you use?
knives
It's like
and
a
machetes.
curved.
And machetes.
Oh, machetes. Okay, so
Yeah.
he'll come in and chop. Like he could come in here and chop. Basically, chop and drop. As it sounds, he'll chop this down, drop it as a mulch. Look, here's some of it as a mulch. And then he'll just spread his seed.
The thing about this particular climate is, and it's high and dry and it's rocky and clay, it's basically good road base.
Okay.
So we had about this much topsoil.
So how'd you build that up? Did you chop and
we're
drop?
chopping and dropping and just collecting biomass and doing everything we can to basically build up instead of turning the soil.
Look, Cliff. A bee.
That's our honeybees.
The perennials on swell, and then another annual garden. Look. Potatoes. You've got, are these beans in the middle? What's here in the middle? What's here in the middle, Cliff, between the potatoes?
Those are bush beans.
And what's the marigolds for?
Marigolds are good for potato beetles and
Okay.
all kinds of other. They're complementary to the
Cool.
potato.
I love this, and I see that you've just mulched with
We just healed them, yeah.
Sawdust.
Yeah, sawdust is prevalent everywhere around here because we have a very large Amish community. So we buy this stuff
Cool.
6 yards, a whole truckload for like $70 delivered.
Yep.
So
Guys, I want you to notice how this garden is planted on contour. Look, you can really see it right here. It's kind of like an S. Not only is it beautiful, it's more productive and efficient. What are you guys doing?
Digging.
You playing in the sawdust? So we
This
needed
is
to
more of a
occupy the
wild
kids.
zone.
They're getting kind of restless. So Cliff has found them some berries
here's more.
to gather from. So, okay guys, this will keep you for a while. Hunt the blackberries. Right here, he's got a pile of brush. They burn it down. Charcoal is in place that they either spread on the garden area. It's good for the garden. Now, what do you do with the ashes though?
Typically the ash just stays in place. We'll wash it out.
Oh, really? Okay. He takes the charcoal, puts it in a barrel. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you add whey to it,
Yep.
which is like a protein.
Yep.
And then what? You mix it together.
We mix it with a non-GMO pellet.
Okay.
And then we ferment that, and then we feed that to our chickens and to our pigs.
Good for the pigs. Good for the chickens.
Good for the
And
Good belly.
they take it through their system.
That's
And
right.
put it out their rear end.
Yep.
And that mineralize?
Yep,
It's
remineralizes,
remineralizing
yep.
the soil that they're on because you're moving them around in the
Yep.
forest.
We're letting them do the work.
Okay, good. Amen, she says.
And then behind them, we add cover crops, which this is a summer cover crop of Sudan sorghum and buckwheat.
Okay, let's see the pigs.
We keep our pigs and our goats in the same paddock because it just makes things easier.
Man, I'm loving you more and more, Cliff.
We chop and drop.
You're getting crazier and crazier.
That's right.
What are they doing in here? Look, Rebecca, pigs and goats together.
They're disturbing everything. So these are crosses between Cooney, American Guinea Hog, and Ossabaw Island Hogs. The goats are all Tennessee fainting goats. And notice we don't have a very high fence for them. It's because they faint every time they get spooked. So they won't jump the fence.
Oh.
There is one in particular, that gray one over there, that will actually jump the fence. But
Okay.
she's on the list of barbecue.
Why pigs and goats together?
Makes it easier. It's
Now-
just so much easier. They eat higher, the pigs eat lower.
There you go. That's what I'm going to ask you.
And then what we do is we go in, select the trees that we want to keep, and then cut the ones down that we don't want, and that feeds them. For instance, the tulip poplar is about 18 or 19% protein. That's higher than alfalfa.
Wow.
So tree crops can actually supply a great amount of supplemental feed for your animals.
And they won't totally destroy the ones you want to keep.
They sometimes do. You can
Okay.
start seeing the actual bark getting taken off of that serviceberry.
Yeah.
That's an indicator of we need to move them.
And then you'll move them out of here, and then will you plant behind them?
What we'll do is we'll come in, clean it all up, pile up the brush for a biochar burn,
Ah.
and then we'll replant it with select varieties of trees that we like. In particular, we'll replant it with chestnuts and apples and persimmons and mulberries and all the things that these particular animals love to eat.
Love it.
These pigs are so cute. I really like them. And Tennessee fainting goat was what I was thinking about getting.
Look at this magic, guys. Right here at the goats. Look at the great job they've done. Amazing. You want to see how good of a job that is? Let me just turn around. This is what it looked like. Okay, Cliff. I thought, hey, I've learned something today. I thought that I would have to run I thought I'd have to run the goats and then the pigs.
And then the
So I can
chickens,
do them together, and then the
everything else.
chickens.
Yeah,
That's
So
too
maybe
much
do it
work.
all at the same time.
I like this.
So you could put chickens in here too, right?
You could.
So for a little bit
I had
of a finer
mama that ate
till.
chickens, but she was really good.
Oh,
at
I guess the
catching
pigs might eat the chickens,
can.
right? Oh no, Mr. Brown, you dropped your water bottle in there.
them. Oh, they're all good. They're
Okay,
just-
Tennessee fainting goats.
Yes.
They're too scared to jump this tiny fence.
Yeah, because if they do, they'll.
And you
freeze.
use them for meat.
I do. And
Okay.
and hides.
What's your favorite goat dish?
Curry goat. For
Okay,
sure.
yeah, all right. We do have to go to other cultures to find good goat dishes, don't we?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it's not that common to eat
The
goat.
majority of the world eat goat, folks.
I know.
Yep,
I
you hear
know.
that, guys? Tell us about your duck and chick. Well, are there chicken? Yeah, they're chicken system.
There are chickens in here now. We like ducks a lot because they're so easy to maintain. They're easy to herd. We can let them out into the agroforestry system at particular times. And this is centrally located to be able to do that.
Yep.
In order to help us kind of garden and manage bugs.
Because the ducks don't till like chickens, so they're not going to tear up your garden.
That's right.
And they aren't quite as aggressive on the garden plants either,
And they're
are
a
they?
lot easier to move around.
And they can survive more on grass and bugs and less grain. Is that true too?
Lots.
Okay, and their
easier.
meat is delicious.
Very. Especially the Muscovy. The Muscovy is the one with the red head. That kind of tastes like veal. We're basically, instead of scraping everything out, we bring actually biology in. So we bring carbon in.
And then you harvest that?
Yep, and then over the years, we'll be starting to harvest that as it creates its own biological cycle.
As they build this up, there'll be compost underneath, and you would just rake aside the top part
Yep.
and then harvest the compost
That's right.
underneath where you need. And this is centrally located.
Yes.
You want to go in here?
We got
What about these ducks?
So these two ducks are sitting on a clutch.
Oh, look. Look what they're sitting on. Is that pretty common that two ducks
So
hatch
far,
out eggs
we got
together?
two here, two Muscovies
What?
here, and there's two over there in the corner. There's two here. There's two in this corner and two in that corner. I'm probably gonna have like 40 ducklings really soon.
Okay. The word on the farm is that the Muscovy is the permaculture duck. Why is that?
The Muscovy is the permaculture duck because they're super easy to handle. They are easy to, you don't have to feed them very much at all. I guess the problem is they fly, but the great thing is that they taste so good that you don't worry about them flying.
He said they were easier to herd. Hey, Lily, let's herd these ducks. Let's move these ducks over to Cliff, okay? Come on. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Look how they all go together. And look how these chickens. One I've already left behind. Come on, chickens. See, ain't no herding a chicken. Look, I've already lost all the chickens, and here the ducks are, all still together. So they move like cows. They stay together. right, thanks Cliff for showing all this.
welcome.
The biochar.
I encourage you guys to follow him. He offers a lot at Spiral Ridge Permaculture.
.com.
He does consulting, so he can teach you how to do this on a one-to-one basis. I imagine you do phone consults. I imagine
do.
you'll go places.
I
I
do.
imagine people can come here. You also do classes where you can come in with more people and learn from you.
That's
Is
right.
that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have every spring and every fall we have our spring Homestead permaculture design course, and also in the fall. And then also in the fall we have an agro-ecosystem series, which is more of a agroecology course in earthworks and in agroforestry and in mushroom production on farms with Trad Cotter.
Cool.
So we do a lot.
And what Earthworks is that stuff he was talking about with the swales, where he's running water down through ponds and stuff like that,
That's
right?
right.
Okay. So I encourage you guys to check that out. This is legit. I'm here. You've seen it. He's one of those teachers that are actually doing it.